Hi there. Didn't see you there. I've just finished watching this video about Schrödinger's item. Have a look. The video talks about a well-known phenomenon where an item on the ground is surrounded with blocks and then someone places another block at its own position, causing it to be inside of a block. Players or clients see the item bounce up into the sky and then it gets teleported back to its original position, like it has never been moved. This creates two states where the item is bouncing up and it's also not moving at all. It's like the actual Schrödinger's cat experiment, where we don't know the real outcome. What are you talking about? We can clearly see that the item bounces up into the sky and then it gets teleported back down. We clearly know the outcome of it. This has nothing to do with Schrödinger's experiment at all. But hey, let's keep our nerves calm and explain what's really happening here. To answer this question, we will need to briefly explain what a Schrödinger's cat experiment is. To put it simply, Schrödinger's cat experiment is an experiment where the cat is both alive and dead at the same time. But how can that be? How do we know that it's both alive and dead at the same time? The answer? We don't. Schrödinger's cat experiment relies on the observer, in most cases a human, not seeing what's happening with the cat. Let me give you an example. This is a diamond block that is in a still state. It doesn't move, it's not changing its position. However, this diamond block is being moved by a force generated by this piston. But what if we encase this diamond block in a chamber with no windows or doors? This is where Schrödinger's experiment begins. We can now theorize what's happening with the diamond block. Is it in a still state? Is it moving? Did it transform into a different block? Did it vanish? We don't know that. And thus we can say that this diamond block is in 4 states at the same time. Once we break the chamber and have a look at the diamond block, then Schrödinger's experiment ends, because now we know in which state the diamond block is. So this video is not talking about Schrödinger's experiment, but rather it's talking about something called desynchronization, or desync for short. Whenever you're playing an online game, your client and the server need to stay in sync in order to be happy. This means that whatever is happening on the server needs to be happening on your client as well. However, this isn't the case most of the time, and that's why servers accept a slight inconsistency. In addition to staying in sync, the server and your client need to function exactly the same. If they don't work the same, the chances of desync happening are quite high. Now here comes the problem with Minecraft servers. The video talks about the phenomenon working only on the servers, but that's only half true. Let me explain. If you've ever played on a Minecraft server, chances are you've either played on a Spigot server or a paper server. Both of these server types are not maintained by Mojang. The server that's maintained by Mojang is a vanilla server. But wait a second, isn't Spigot and paper also vanilla servers? Well, yes, but actually no. You see, the term vanilla in the Minecraft community means that it has been developed by Mojang. Chances are you've only heard this term when it comes to mods and mod packs, which change the way your Minecraft client works. If you've ever played on a completely vanilla Minecraft client, you've probably noticed that you're not getting much FPS. That's why your next step probably was to ask why are you getting really low FPS, which possibly directed you to a forum talking about how Minecraft is really badly coded and that you should use mods like Optifine which boost your FPS. The same thing applies to Minecraft server. The community realized that servers are also badly coded, so they decided to create a bucket. Then something went wrong and they decided to create Spigot, then paper, and the list goes on. Now that we've established what a vanilla Minecraft server is and what the other servers really are, let's get back to the phenomenon explained in the video. The video says
this only occurs on servers,
and I said that's only half true. If you would go to the official Minecraft website and find the page of a Minecraft update, scroll all the way down and under the title named Get the Release and click on the Minecraft server link, this will download a vanilla Minecraft server. Put it in an empty folder, add a script that starts the server, run the script to start a server, join the server, and then try the phenomenon for yourself. You're going to realize that it actually doesn't work, no matter how much you're going to try. The reason is quite obvious. Vanilla Minecraft server works the exact same way as your Minecraft client. The only way for this phenomenon to happen is if the server would work differently. And that's where Spigot comes in, because if you, instead of downloading a vanilla Minecraft server, you would download a Spigot server, and repeat the same procedure as before, then join the server and try it now, you would see that from time to time you are able to replicate the same phenomenon as shown in the video. So now we know that this phenomenon isn't actually Schrödinger's item, but rather is desync that happens because of how differently Spigot works from the vanilla Minecraft server. Let's take a closer look at the rest of the video. The video then proceeds to show that in Minecraft version 1.12.2, any item stuck inside a block would just get teleported up.
However, somewhere in the process the code has changed.
Somewhere, like we can't even guess where it probably happened. Or can we? Well, if you know Minecraft updates, you even know when it happened, because Minecraft version 1.13 completely changed the way water physics work, and thus changed how items work in water. And while Mojang were working on that, they also updated the way items work when stuck inside a block.
In a single-player world, you only have the client.
Wrong. I mean partially wrong. If we are talking about Minecraft version 1.2.5 and older, then yes, this statement would be true, but most of the players currently play any version newer than version 1.2.5. And for these versions, the statement is incorrect. The reason behind this is that in Minecraft version 1.3, the Open to LAN feature has been added. This feature allows anyone to open their world to anyone on the LAN network, meaning anyone who is connected to the same network can connect to that world. This also means that whenever you're running a single player world, you're running a server.
The client doesn't have it that easy though.
Sort of true. The way the video explains how it works on the client side isn't perfect, so let me give you my explanation. The way Minecraft works is that it does some functions both on the server and the client at the same time. If a vanilla Minecraft server detects an item inside a block, it goes like, "Hey, there is an item inside a block, I need to get it out of there." And the exact same thing happens on the client. Once this is done, the server then sends an update packet, or to simplify it, a message, to all clients about the item. The client looks at it and goes like, "Alright, how big of a mistake did I do?" And usually this is going to be 90% of the time exactly same, as we are running a vanilla server and vanilla client. But what if we are running a modified server, such as a Spigot server? Well, if a Spigot server detects an item inside a block, it goes like, "Hey, there's an item inside a block, but I don't really care, so I will leave it where it is." But the client does, "Hey, there's an item inside a block, I need to get it out of there." And so the server and the client did something else, meaning a desync has happened. Once the client receives a message about the item, it goes like, "Alright, how big of a mistake did I do?" And it sees that it actually did make a mistake, and it goes like, "Well, I did make a small mistake, but it's not much of a big deal." And so the client doesn't teleport the item and keeps it where it is. In addition to checking this, the client also reads more about the item, and one of the things he finds is that the server told him that the item is still inside of a block. Well, even though it's not on my side, but the server is the boss here, so I'm gonna do my standard procedure. And once that's done, the client again receives information about the item. This time he realizes that the item is way over the limit of inconsistency and thus changes the position of the item back to its original place. And this cycle repeats cause the item is still stuck in the block.
And that's why if you have two players standing right next to an item, the one who picks it up is the one with lower ping.
Wrong. If you have a player 1 with 10 millisecond ping and a player 2 with 25 millisecond ping, but this player joined the server first, he or she is the one who's going to pick up the item. Remember, picking up an item isn't client-sided, but rather server-sided, and thus you can only pick up items every 50 milliseconds, otherwise known as once a tick. And that concludes this video. I hope you've learned something new, and in case you want to see more of my upcoming videos, don't be so shy and press that biggity big ol' red button that says subscribe. Thank you so much for watching the video, and I shall see you soon. Alright, where's my cheeseburger? Did anyone see my cheeseburger? I swear I put it right here before I started. Sam? Have you seen my cheeseburger? No? Oh yeah, you're right. Got it, thanks. I will talk to him later today.